What's going on, guys? Spring is officially here. Spring has sprung, that's the saying, right?
Yes.
Spring has sprung. I got my flowered shirt on. We are going to be making a traditional Easter meal. I grew up with a family that celebrated Easter, and we had a traditional ham, scalloped potatoes, and deviled eggs. I have a smoked ham that I got from 1915 Farms. I'm gonna do a brown sugar and mustard rub on it, and we're gonna stick it in the oven. We're gonna do some scalloped potatoes with 3 kinds of cheese, and then we're gonna make some deviled eggs, which I know are your favorite.
I'll pass.
Jack hates eggs.
And it's gonna be stinky in here.
The smell of our kitchen, but I'm only gonna make 3. I'm not gonna make a whole dozen like I had planned. It won't smell that bad, I apologize. We got a bunch of ingredients down here. Now, our recipes that Jack so diligently puts all the measurements out will have the measurements that'll make for between 4 to 6 people. I'm kind of taking it down a little bit because it's just 2 of us here, and I'm not gonna eat a dozen deviled eggs, and we're not gonna eat...
Please don't.
Yeah. We're not gonna do that. And then we're not gonna eat 5 pounds of potatoes either. The ham is a smaller ham that I got just for us, but everything in the recipe card will be to scale. What I have here will not be. Got it? Okay. Deviled eggs. We have organic pasture-raised eggs, mayo, white wine vinegar, a little paprika, some salt and pepper as well. For our scalloped potatoes, we have russet potatoes, we have mozzarella, parmesan, and then a 5-year-old Wisconsin hook cheddar that's really good. So that's gonna be tasty. We also have some heavy whipping cream that's gonna go into that. So this is a very, what's that word? I wanna say voluptuous, but it's not a voluptuous dish.
Creamy?
No, it's a very decadent dish, not voluptuous.
That's a different
That's a different show. For our ham, I just got 2 kinds of mustard here. I have stone ground, and then I have some spicy brown, and then brown sugar. And this is our smoked ham. So this is, I think it's a 4-pound smoked ham. It's already been smoked, so it's cooked. So most of your hams that you're gonna buy at the store are already gonna be cooked, and all you really need to do is glaze them, put them in your oven, and bring them to temperature. It's pre-smoked. Most of the time they'll come pre-cooked. Some of them come with the bone in. This is just a side of ham. So let's get started. We're gonna start with our ham because it's gonna take the longest. Probably gonna take about an hour to an hour and a half in my oven. I also put a pot of water on my stove already so I can hard boil my eggs. For our rub, I'm gonna take some brown sugar. I probably have about 2 ounces there. We're gonna pour that in. And then I'm gonna take stone ground, probably about 2 tablespoons worth. And then I'll take my spicy brown and I'll do the same. Maybe a little bit more of the spicy. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna mix it all together. So I'm gonna take my white wine vinegar and I'm actually gonna put a little splash of that in there as well, just to loosen it up a little so it's not so dense. That looks good. We're gonna take our rub and I'm just gonna scoop it out. I'm just gonna rub it all over my ham here. I'm gonna make sure to flip it and get the underside. We're gonna get it all in the crevices and the cracks. Looks good. I'm gonna put this into my cast iron skillet because it'll fit in there. And then I'm just gonna throw it in the oven and we're gonna let it go for about an hour. An hour, I'll probably check it.
Should there have been some preheating of the oven done?
Sure, yeah, that's a great idea. You can preheat your oven. 350 is what I'm putting mine at. So I'll just put a couple turns of oil in there just so it doesn't stick. I'll pick up this guy. I'm gonna look for the fatty side because I want the fatty side up.
Why do you want it?
Simply because as it renders off, it will drain into the pan. We'll take all of this that's left behind and rub that on. Then into the oven it goes. Cheese all has to be grated. I bought the mozzarella already grated, but these need to be grated and the parm needs to be grated, so guess who that's a job for?
Food processor.
Okay, that's your new name, the food processor.
That's not nice.
We're gonna also use a mandolin to slice all of our potatoes. Try to get them, I don't want them super thick. I'm gonna cut a few, check it out. That's probably about where I want, about 1/8 of an inch. Just gonna slice all these, and there you go. All of our potatoes are looking pretty. Grated all our cheese, we got our potatoes, we got our cream here, and I forgot to tell you butter. So we're gonna take some butter, and I'm just gonna rub it all on the inside of my pan because I don't want anything to stick. You're gonna have a lot of cheese and cream and whatnot. Now, normally you do them in a casserole dish and they're just kind of like lined up. I'm gonna do mine kind of in a spiral shape, just a little fancier. First layer is in, it's kind of the whole bottom of the pan. I'm gonna literally just drizzle a little bit of salt. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a smidge. I got about 7 turns of pepper there. And then my cheese. I wanna make sure to mix my cheese all together so it's not just all parm or all cheddar or all mozzarella. Next layer, same thing. I have 2 layers of potatoes. Again, this is for 2 people. If I was making it for my whole family on Easter, I'd probably do 5 pounds of potatoes and just keep layering it. And then you're just gonna take some heavy cream and pour it all over it. And then I'm just gonna take about a tablespoon of butter, maybe 2 tablespoons, and just kind of spread it all throughout. This goes into the oven along with your ham.
How long?
This is where we're actually gonna look for color. So we want the cheese all to be melted, the cream to kind of boil, potatoes to be soft. So I'd say probably about 30 minutes is my guess. We're also gonna put our eggs into our water because I can hear it boiling. Just throw it in. So our eggs were in the boiling water for about 12 minutes and they're pretty well done. We have some funky looking eggs here, but they broke as I put them in, so that's okay. We're still gonna eat them. I took them off of the boiling water, emptied it out, and put them into cold water to shock them so they would stop cooking. Anytime you cook a vegetable where it's boiled, you could shock it with ice water. It'll cause it to stop cooking.
Is that why you do broccoli? So it stays like
so it
bright
stays
green.
Crunchy. Asparagus, the same thing. The way I peel my eggs is I just take a spoon, crack around, and then very gently start to pull away. All right, our eggs are peeled. All I'm gonna do is take them, we're gonna cut them right down the center, and then I'm gonna very gently take out the yolks. So with deviled eggs, we use the actual white and we mix the yolks together with our mayo and our vinegar. Our egg yolks are all in our bowl. I'm gonna add a tablespoon worth of mayo. I'm gonna do a splash of vinegar. And the best part of this whole thing is if you guys could see the other side of this camera, Jack has her face shoved into her sweatshirt. I'm gonna put some salt, we're gonna put a little pepper, and I'm gonna put a little bit of paprika. And we're just gonna mix all this together. We're gonna smash our egg yolks. We wanna get them nice and creamy. If I was doing a dozen eggs this way, I'd put it in the food processor just to make it move faster. My egg yolks all mixed together. Now, I love this little tool. It's a bench scraper. You can use it for picking up stuff off your cutting board. It has a rounded edge, so it'll go in bowls. I'm gonna take this and scrape all this good stuff out. And I'm gonna put it into a plastic bag because I don't have any pastry bags or parchment paper right now to make a pastry bag. A little trick, take this and I made my own pastry bag. So now I'll take it and I'll close it. I'm gonna roll it, right? So I could use some pressure. I haven't done this in a long time, so we're gonna hope this works. I'm gonna cut the end off of it with my knife. I'll squeeze from the top and just fill each little egg white. Don't they look delicious? There you go, deviled eggs. They don't look that great because that piping bag was kind of big at the end, but you get the gist of it, right? They're creamy, hard-boiled eggs with mayo and a little paprika. But if you wanted to at the end, you could take a little bit of that smoked paprika, and there you have it. I love deviled eggs. So we actually have a deviled egg dish that is shaped like an egg and it has little holes in it. You put them in there. I love them. I only get them once a year because Jack can't stand the smell.
I mean, you can have them whenever you want. Maybe I just can't be home when you cook them.
Yeah, exactly. So, deviled eggs. Our potatoes have been in the oven probably about 30 minutes. So I'm gonna take them out and I'm gonna show you what I was looking for. I want them to get kind of crunchy and brown and to have a little caramelized edge around the end where all the cheese stuck. That's why we buttered the pan. We're gonna let them sit for probably about 15-20 minutes. Our ham is out of the oven. It looks great. It's got some little like crunchy bits on it from the sugar and the mustard. It was in there for probably about an hour and a half. Now, if you were buying a raw ham, I would say you cook your raw ham for an hour and a half first, and then put the brown sugar and the mustard on it and cook it for another hour and a half with that on there. We're gonna let this cool. We'll cut some slices and we'll have our Easter meal. So our ham is cool. It came out of the oven. It's probably been sitting for about 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna slice it. However big you want your slices. Cut those two. Put it on the plate. We're gonna take some of our scalloped potatoes here. They're fairly good.
Perfect.
I'm gonna try my potatoes first, I think. Can you try them?
Yes.
So the potatoes are done perfectly. They're super cheesy and crispy. That cream soaks up into those potatoes and makes them like super creamy, kind of like mashed potatoes, but they're firm still.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'm gonna try a piece of the ham. That ham is sweet and smoky. The mustard gives it a little bit of a tang, I would say. It's delicious. I already know that our deviled eggs are delicious because I've had a few, so I'm not gonna have any more. But what do you think of the ham?
The ham is really good. I love the crispiness of the outside layer.
Yeah, so that ham is super crispy because of the sugar. It gets caramelized on the outside. It's absolutely delicious. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, click the bell, do all the things. Thank you guys so much and happy Easter.
Sorry, I just can't do it.